What is going on, fight fans? So Ryan Garcia just had his fight last night with Oscar Duarte, and I don't know what to think of the fight. Well, one thing's for sure, our prediction streak has increased now to 12 fights in a row. Very impressive, if I would say so myself. But other than the fact that we are brutally accurate with our predictions here on Boxing Fanatico, I want to talk about Ryan Garcia's strategy. Now, what he was doing from like round 1 to 5-ish or 4 maybe was pretty good, right? He was disrupting Duarte. He intercepted Duarte as he was coming in. He knew whenever Duarte was creating, trying to close the space, trying to close the distance, that he could catch him with a really fast left hook, a check left hook. And he was landing that every time. He was throwing really good off rhythm combinations. When Duarte would try to reset, he would throw a good combination. What he was doing from round 1 to 4 or 5 should have been what he was doing the entire fight. Because what he ended up starting to apply, which was a clearly uncomfortable and untaught shoulder roll, was very dangerous. Did he win the fight? Sure. But that's like saying, did somebody driving down the highway at 160 miles per hour, cutting off cars, make it home? Yeah, but they significantly increased their chances of not making it home than the guy driving 75, 80, right? So what he was doing was not good. That shoulder roll defense was not good. He didn't necessarily need to be on the back foot so aggressively either, without doing something with that. You don't just, it's almost like something happened and he wanted to be Floyd Mayweather. I don't want to make fun of him. That's not what I'm doing, but it does feel like a switch turned on after he lost to Tank, and now he just wants to be Floyd Mayweather somehow. He was doing the lateral movement and stuff, but he was just doing lateral movement. And that's a misinterpretation of Floyd Mayweather. You have to get away from what people say about Floyd Mayweather and actually watch, a Floyd Mayweather fight with intent. And you'll see that that's not what he's doing. He's not just laterally moving. There's intent in what he's doing. There's trickery, right? There's things that he's doing to set up, a shot, right? Get you off of your rhythm, get you out of control, get you feeling a certain type of way, and then he punishes you. Which with Ryan, it just seemed like he was just trying to move away without creating any offense from this defense. Because it's not just not get hit. A lot of people think that the not get hit part is what the science is all about. It's hit and not get hit, right? It's hit and not get hit. It's not just not get hit. So yeah, it was poorly done. I mean, even the way he would do the shoulder roll, even the way he started the show, he's so bladed. What you're supposed to do at a basic level with the shoulder roll is you're supposed to open up a little bit as you're engaging, as you're getting in range. And once you're in range and they start to throw punches, then you blade, right? You lift the shoulder up, catch punches, but in a bladed stance. Maybe you lean back a little bit so that if the target is right here, you lean back, the target lands here. There's got to be a lot of confidence using that and a lot of timing, like really good timing with understanding where the gloves are going to land, right? So what he was doing was he was turning too deep and he was like this. He was turning way too deep and he was like this. That's not a shoulder roll, bro. That's not the shoulder roll. Now, what you're doing is you're no longer, notice if you're bladed, you're very covered. You're covering your body. It's hard for them to hit your body. You could extend your elbow and catch hooks, right? The hooks could get caught right here, like this part of the arm could get caught up in the hook. With the hook could get caught up in the shoulder or in the elbow, or a punch could get caught in the elbow. But when you turn all the way around, like what you're doing is your back is exposed. And you're exposing your back. The person could just go ham on your back. So you have to be tight where there's really just this right here where you could do this, and then if the punch is coming, the hook is coming upstairs. If the hook is coming downstairs, you can go like this. If the hook is, or you could just keep your arm down there and protect it, lower it, whatever. If the hook is coming upstairs, you can blade, not turn all the way, just blade, pull back a little bit, lift this up, tuck your chin under it, and blade. Boom. And then also, when he finally got it to hit the shoulder, once you feel that shoulder, boom, you got to come back with a counter. Depending on what they're throwing, you got to come back with this right hand. He wasn't doing any of that. So it was a very clearly just off of his imagination. He did the shoulder roll using his imagination based off of what he thinks the shoulder roll is supposed to work like, but not actually knowing how to do it in practice. It's very hard to do something that you've never done before that's very high level, and you need a trainer to teach you that. Derek James clearly said, I didn't teach him that shoulder roll. So just weird overall. Granted, he eventually got the knockout in a very smart way. Check punch, check hook, got him rocked, and then just noticed that he was rocked because it was very clear. He was stumbling and bumbling around. And then after that, he piled on a successful combination attack where he started to batter him. And then the referee started counting because Duarte took a knee, and Duarte waited for 9 3/4 to decide to get up, and that's always a dangerous move. You should get up bare minimum 8. Give yourself a 1 second buffer, because there's referees that just be like 8, 9, 10. All right, that's it. Remember, guys, it's not 10 exact seconds. A lot of people love to harp on it. Let's put a timer. He really got up at 12 seconds and 13 seconds. It's a 10 count, which means it's at the discretion and speed of the referee of how fast he will count to 10. And a lot of times when they hit 9, a 9 is basically like a 10 to referee, because why haven't you gotten up yet? It's 9. You're done. That's how they do it. Even though, technically they should give you that opportunity, but he got up way too late. If he wanted to stay in the fight, he wouldn't get up like that. In my opinion, he used that as a way to go out on his shield, where it looked like he wanted to fight, but he didn't really want to fight. So where does he go from here? I think a Rolly Romero fight could actually, in a weird way, be pay-per-view, and then we could see how Ryan can sell on his own, right? Because Rolly did decent numbers with Tank on pay-per-view. It was on the higher end of what Tank normally does on his own. Tank normally does like 250,000 pay-per-view buys, and that fight probably did like 280,000 pay-per-views or something like that. So maybe he could go on pay-per-view with Rolly Romero, and then we could see what Ryan does on pay-per-view. It would be for a world title, and it's a perfect setup. There's a history behind it, right, with the sparring sessions where Rolly was going hard with his punches with Ryan Garcia. So it'll be an interesting fight to watch if they were to do it. So I'm all for it. Kudos to Ryan for getting the win. he was much better than Duarte the entire time. The fact that he was doing stuff that he wasn't supposed to be doing, that he didn't really know how to do, yet he was still winning to some degree. He lost a few of those rounds after the fifth, but was in control for the most part, where he was never in any insane danger. There were times where the tide was changing a little bit, but he was never in danger of being knocked out or anything like that. So kudos to him. Got the win in a very bizarre, way, but hopefully he doesn't do that again, and he accentuates the things that he's good at. His speed that allows him to have quick reflexes and give you a good check punch as you're coming in. Those things are good for him. Don't be who you're not, right? Be who you are, and use that the best way that you can. Clean up defensive things that are problems, like the leaning straight back and dropping his hands. Clean that up, but don't introduce something dramatically new. Almost reminds me of like when Andre Berto did the Philly shell. It just if you don't know how to do it, you'll literally get beat up. You'll be too exposed. Just keep your high guard and be smart, man. Be smart. Like Ryan literally would turn so much. Like I can't get this out of my mind. The dude would throw one punch and then he bailed on it with his back turned and his hands up, just exposing the side of his body, which is crazy. Duarte wanted the knockout so bad that he wasn't focusing on the fact that he could have easily attacked the body. But, it is what it is. We're up to 12 fights predicted in a row. And, of course, we're going to go live tomorrow, as always, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Time to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss it. We'll probably be most definitely talking about this fight tomorrow. All right, until the next one, guys. Peace.